the hassle.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Hey. We promised. Promises made, promises delivered. We got the intro music down. It's the same thing, just puts my name in it. Austin was like, do you want anything new? I'm like, let's just keep it the same. Just throw my name in there. We'll keep it basic, and we'll roll with it. So promises are made.
My name in there for the first. No, I'm just kidding.
well, a split hour. We should make one just for the opening of the first hour when you are here on Tuesday through Thursdays, and then
This is your shit, man. So your name belongs in the title. I'm just
I mean,
just a part of the ride.
It's some shoes to fill with DP because DP established it, and it's I don't know how many other radio stations around, not just Nebraska, but in general that are live at 10 o'clock on their local time.
Did you know we're live 18 hours a day? Have I mentioned that? For late
I was about to. So yesterday, I don't know if you listened. I threw that off at the beginning of the show. It's like if you didn't know, Harrison loves the plug that we're here 18 hours a day, usually 7 days a week.
Nobody does it. Nobody else but us. So I think it's okay
trademark it. I mean, it's something to be proud of, and I give you a lot of slack for it, but it is something to be proud of, especially for a radio station that is located right here in the center of downtown Lincoln. Yeah, and being able to pull it off with so many different shows, so many different hats. It's hard to do.
Skeleton crew, but efficient, highly efficient crew.
That's what you want to be. Depth, as Tom Chattel said the other day with Austin. He said we have depth like Nebraska basketball. And that's what we showed. Late Night Lincoln, Nick Whyman here. Harrison Narns dropping on for the first hour. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. We have a jam-packed show. Yesterday we talked about everything. Like there was so much going on. First thing I got cut in because that really good Kansas-Texas Tech game, top 15 matchup. Little side note, I was out on Kansas basketball when they were struggling.
I was too.
And now beat BYU, you beat Texas Tech, and
kind of back in.
I'm kind of back on the Kansas train. But I have a feeling what's going to happen is I'm going to buy stock into them, and they're going to be bounced second round in like a 3-6 March Madness second round matchup, and I'm going to get. They might be a 2 seed. I don't know. There's still a lot of season left, and Austin and me kind of ran through what the cheering interest, if you're a Nebraska fan, who you want to see lose and whatnot. Because like, for example, Iowa State has Arizona twice. They play Kansas. They play BYU still. So you want Iowa State to lose because they have such a chance to really boost their resume. Plus, you have the conference tournament in there as well. So
right, we just got Purdue, and then our schedule lightens.
That's what I mean. You have to cheer. And then if Iowa State gets hot, like they win most of those games, then Gonzaga is another team. Gonzaga only has St. Mary's really, and San Francisco and Santa Clara, but the Zags are usually a team who's going to handle business in that conference. They usually do, but like I said,
that conference, yeah.
But there's some teams like San Francisco, Santa Clara, St. Mary's who are going to give them scares. But Gonzaga is usually pretty good at passing the test and getting to that point, earning that top 2 seed in most recent years.
Yeah, good enough to get to the Sweet 16 usually.
And they are. There's a reason. I mean, their non-conference says for it all. So we're talking about college basketball. We're going to talk about some Nebraska ball. I haven't been able to talk about kind of the weekend review for Nebraska men's basketball. Obviously, we talked about the Michigan loss Sunday, whiteout at PBA. Before we get into the game, what were
the Illinois loss?
Yes, Illinois loss. What were your thoughts just on the whiteout?
Looks awesome. Looks so good with that court and the guys wearing all white. I think the Herbie the Husker I wasn't super big on that court logo, but with the all white, it actually matched.
So
looked awesome.
I like the look of that. Last night I talked more about the fans buying into it because the student section got white shirts.
Yeah.
But the rest of the crowd didn't. So I don't know if you get a ticket to the game and you're just like, oh, I don't have anything white to wear and I'm just wearing red. No, the fans understood the assignment and wore white, which I was glad everybody bought into it and completely went all out because I compared it to one of those like NBA playoff games when the fans get all the T-shirts.
It looked like a playoff game before it started.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It had like a playoff type of atmosphere. And it's the one thing I wish March Madness, like you could host games like women. I know like it kind of ruins the women, but that'd be unreal if March Madness, like those first couple rounds, like you got to host it. Like I can't imagine what Lincoln looked like.
Berserk.
The crowd was everything you probably anticipated it to be. And to the crowd's point, even the white hats, they were making sure like if I'm bringing a hat, I'll make sure I also have a white hat. That part was phenomenal. So win there with the crowd won that day.
Yeah.
I will say that. We can get to the game details. I'm curious where you thought it fell apart.
I mean, how that end of the first half, shots were flying. Nebraska took a 6-point lead, and I felt very confident in just what Nebraska was doing. It's like, all right, they used that little stretch to their momentum, took it into the half, and maybe this is where because I knew Illinois was not going to go down without a fight, and that's how they played back in December when they played. Nebraska just went ice cold from 3. Yeah. It was kind of like the years prior with Fred Hoiberg we've seen where Nebraska has stretches where they just cannot buy a bucket. And Illinois, to their credit, you tip their cap to them, they found every opportunity to silence that crowd and be able to keep momentum on their side. And they were just a mismatch for Nebraska too. They had size. Wagler, my goodness. I have bought stock into this guy as maybe Big Ten Player of the Year as a freshman. I mean, he's probably the freshman of the year now after what he's done the last.
He's been unreal.
I know Frager, but he got hurt, and that's just out of his control. It's just a thing. But when you're dropping 46 against Purdue, and then you go into the Nebraska,
what do you have in this one?
Yeah, 20, I believe 28, right? 26.
Wagler finished with.
He's been on one. He had 28. He had 22 against Washington. Before that, he was average. His high before that was like 21.
4 of 9 from 3, 7 of 15 from the floor, 10 of 12 from the free throw line.
And a lot of those free throws were down the stretch when Nebraska had to foul, and he obviously had the ball in his hands. But Keaton Wagler's had he's a story of college basketball at the moment just because of what he's doing in Illinois, and they're doing it without Boswell, who is their number 2 scorer. Transfer came in. He's averaging about 14 a game. Wagler's averaging 17 to lead the way.
And that number's climbing up like crazy.
And they're doing this without their second leading scorer. And they're beating Purdue on the road, beating Nebraska on the road. Those are 2 tough environments right there. And guess what? This weekend, they play at Michigan State. They have a chance to beat 3 ranked Big Ten teams on 3 separate weekends, which is very tough to do. But
and you're probably favoring Illinois in that one.
The way they're playing, I mean.
How could you not?
The way I talked about it last night, I think if the season ended right now, they might be a solid Final Four pick just because of how they're playing. Like, I compared this kind of like to a Kemba Walker type of takeover thing. Like that UConn team was like a 7 seed at the time, so it's a little different. Illinois is a top 10 team in the country, but a guy who can take over a game like that and just completely just be dominant from start to finish. Like he had start to finish, he didn't even have a good first half. He had 5 points in the first half against Nebraska.
Yeah,
but a guy like that to just completely dominate the game, nothing you can do. I mean, I said he could have taken a shot from the parking lot and it probably would have gone in.
He almost took one from the parking lot in the first half and it didn't go in. But then but when players take those shots, you just know, like, thank the Lord that missed, because if that one drops, he's like Sanford. Once you see one of them go in that looks really clean, you're like, okay, here we go. We're gonna have to play really good defense, and that's exactly what happened in the second half. He started hitting a few, and it was like, okay, here comes Wagner. At least we held him to 5 in the first half. Otherwise, he might have had another 40-point burger for how good he was playing. And what really happened for me was the Avicic brothers. Those guys started balling. And that really opened up the floor in the second half. And they were getting easy lobs, and their offense just looked really, really good. They were the first team to kind of finally expose Nebraska's defense in a way that says, if you want to overhelp, we're going to severely punish you for it. And they kept catching Burke on that. It didn't help that we had Rink, who wasn't, you could tell, still wasn't 100%. Maybe it looks a little bit different if he's okay. But, that was a game where I kind of tipped my cap more than anything else. I was like, Illinois looks like one of the best teams in the country. Like, certainly if I had to pick a Final Four team right now.
Yeah, I would agree. And like you said, like they just played, though their ball movement was so nuts, like across.
Really good.
Like you see that in kind of the NBA, how the guys can just move the ball from corner to corner so fast. And then they were able to kind of milk Nebraska's defense up and be able to do a little bounce pass and an easy layup. Like there were so many of those that it was just like.
What do you remember when I can't remember which of Avicic brother it was, but he's out there and looks like it's going to be a steal, and it turns into like, oh, it's not a great angle. Let me hit a tip pass to the corner 3. And then Illinois drains it. Like once I started seeing that go down, I was like, okay, these guys are really locked in. They know where they're supposed to be on offense. Like if you can just hit a no-look tip pass and knowing that your guy's going to be there in the corner, I'm like, okay, this team's really well coached. The bigs are playing really good basketball in terms of, you mentioned it, their playmaking was incredible. Yeah, I just didn't see a whole lot of weaknesses in that team's armor other than the 3-point shot when we could catch them. But unfortunately, when that one cold in the second half, they could really bust out that 2-3 zone, and Nebraska didn't have a lot of answers. When it wasn't hitting threes, then they busted out the zone. It was pretty tough sledding. The biggest issue is going to remain, like, we got to figure out ways to get points in the lane when we aren't hitting threes, because in that game, I don't know if I have it on the sheet. We didn't take hardly any shots. How many okay, here we go.
Rebounding. I think rebounding really stood out to me. Nebraska out rebounded Illinois 40-27, and Illinois has got a lot of size too. So I think that kind of Nebraska was limited to getting inside, because they took very similar 2-point shots. Like you look on paper there, they took very similar 2-point shots. On the crumbled up paper, I accidentally almost threw away, but it looks like you're reading off some scroll over there. But if you're watching on Ala Channel 961 or Facebook,
YouTube, scrolls found
it looks like a scroll. But they both took very similar 3-point shot, 3-point, took as a number of 3-point and 2-point shots. However, Illinois were very right next to the hoop. Nebraska's 2-point shots were jump shots and fadeaways and a couple hooks from a rink. They weren't high level shots. A lot of the Illinois shots were, dunks or layups right near the rim when they got there, or Wagler sprinting to the rim and being able to get a layup to fall. They were just, everything was going their way in that sort. So if you look at the numbers, they're very similar on how many shots and attempts they had. However, if you look at the charting of it, it's a little different because Nebraska wasn't able to get to the rim as efficient as the Fighting Illini were. That's kind of what stands out.
Also, 26 free throws to 5.
Yes, and that's what I mean. And they were able to, that when a team's able to crash the boards and be able to do that,
create contact.
It creates contact and fouls happen. Nebraska, a lot of the second half was just a lot of 3-point, and a lot of those free throws kind of came down the stretch too.
Yeah,
where
true.
Illinois was, Wagler's dribbling the ball for about 30 seconds, then driving to the rim and being able to get a foul. Whether that's a foul or not, they were able to. I don't think
they were going to win the free throw discrepancy by a significant margin, even if all the calls were absolutely correct.
I don't,
because they were playing much more aggressive in that regard.
And then look at Nebraska's scoring output for this game. Like Frager obviously comes back. Braden Frager comes back, gets a huge ovation.
He was electric in that game.
20 points, 6 made threes, shot 50% from the 3-point line. And then after that, it's Price had his little run. He had 14 points. Sam Hoiberg with 13. Jamarcus Lawrence with 10. After that, it's not a whole lot. And we talk about Nebraska's depth. They only played 7 guys in this. Illinois did too, but Illinois has kind of done that all year with minus Boswell, so that adds 8, maybe 9 a game.
I might kind of have the size to lean on you. If our 7's playing their 7 for the entirety of a game, their guys are just bigger. I mean, that was the first thing that kind of sticks out when you watch us versus Michigan and then us versus Illinois. You can just see it. Like, this is a much bigger team. And that's going to be the challenge. I know I talked about it with you. I talked about it with Austin. Like, these are the teams that are going to scare me. It's going to be Michigan. It's going to be Illinois or any other big team, like even Arizona. If we somehow meet Arizona, the teams that just have size that we don't, it's going to be a tough task keeping those guys out of the lane and just playing clean basketball. And we can punish them with a little bit of small ball, but it hasn't really worked too well outside of that Illinois game. And even that Illinois game where we won, they kind of were starting to come back into it. So that's going to be the challenge all year long, is when you meet these teams that are just flat out bigger than you. And hopefully if Rink Mass gets healthy, that'll change things a little bit there. But we don't really have what feels like a ton of answers there yet. We can't get them into foul trouble, despite them only playing 7. We're kind of just floating, outside of a Jamarcus Lawrence mid-range jumper. None of the points in the paint shots looked great. They looked, trying to force it or just kind of floating. Like you said, Rink Mass had quite a few hooks that maybe you want to see them go into the people's body a little bit more. It just wasn't the best work inside the paint. The ball movement was fine. I thought that looked really good, but they got to figure out some ways to attack people at the rim and get some contact. A lot of times they just they're so good at passing, they get purely clean looks and nobody even touches them because they'll hit a nice reverse.
There were a lot of those in Michigan too, in Ann Arbor. Nebraska got a lot of good looks, especially down the stretch. Tie a bow on this Illinois game against Nebraska. Frager posted his 5th 20-point game of the season. That's nice to see. And of those free throws for Illinois, so the free throw discrepancy, obviously, Illinois shot 12 free throws in the final 3.5 minutes.
Okay, so there you go.
A lot of it was Nebraska was just trying to do something on the other end. 10 of 12 down the stretch. So how many is that? How many did they shoot total in the game, you said?
They shot a total of...
the scroll of the game, it's like
26.
So around half of their free throws came down the stretch, which at the time, Nebraska's probably flirting near the, double bonuses coming in and all that stuff. So
they had 14 plus free throw discrepancy. But to your point, if you subtract the 12, well, no, because what do we have?
They were 10 to 12 down the stretch.
We had 5, so we had a 9 free throw discrepancy in Illinois' favor. So to your point, but watching that game, I thought that was a pretty good officiated game.
I thought so too.
I didn't have any issues with it.
I didn't think it was very, a lot of people were talking about it. I thought it was fine.
I was surprised. Like I can get behind the Michigan game. This game, I saw people go back at it again, and I was like,
you can't.
Do you guys watch it?
Don't push. I'm not pushing the panic button at a 20-2.
No.
I know a lot of people, say, oh, they've lost 2 games, but you played probably arguably 2 of the top teams in not only the Big Ten, but only the country. Michigan ranked number 2 now. Illinois, I believe, is number 5, or they're up there. They're up there in the rankings. But
you almost beat Michigan without
2 of your players, exactly.
Yeah. And then Illinois was a tough one, but technically it's 1-1 in that series.
So this week's interesting because they don't have a midweek game. They are off until Saturday. Nebraska heads to Piscataway to take on Rutgers.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. tip. Bring your own energy game, I believe. Rutgers is not great. They're near the bottom of the standings in the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. They've been struggling quite a bit. Nebraska will play them at 11 a.m. We'll have post-game coverage here at 1 o'clock. Against the Scarlet Knights and the Huskers. Interesting. But Nebraska's had their troubles up there against Rutgers in recent years. And
it's a long road trip.
It is a long road trip.
It's 11 a.m.
Early game. Rutgers, I haven't seen a lot about it. And the only time I've watched them this year is when they played Indiana, when Indiana wore black uniforms against them, and it looked wrong. It looked like a scrimmage. But Rutgers, so far, their last win was against Northwestern, 77-75. Since then, they have dropped 5 straight. So Nebraska's it's kind of like the Minnesota situation where the team's coming in or Northwestern the same way. Team's just looking to buy a win. Against Wisconsin, they lost 96-87. At Iowa, they lost 68-62. Lost to Indiana 82-59. That's the game I was talking about. That game played at like 5 o'clock. Our time, 6 o'clock their time due to the snowstorms. So Indiana got in and got the heck out of there to get back home. And then after that, they played home against Michigan State, lost 88-79. So they hung with Sparty. And then they just lost a 3-point game to USC, and they are playing tonight. They are playing at UCLA. They are playing right now. Oh, never mind. It's over. They lost 98-66 to UCLA. And UCLA is kind of peaking right now. They're winning some tough games, and
they're starting to come back.
And we're talking about Nebraska to Rutgers being a trip. Piscataway to California I can't imagine that trip.
It's better than California to Piscataway.
It's the same distance.
I'm talking about the location though.
Still,
one you're going to California, the other one,
still,
all right.
That's it
sucks for either team.
Conference realignment. This is not a problem 10, 15 years ago. This is the Big Ten and the Big 2026. I know it's at 2025 where you got teams from the West Coast playing teams from the far East Coast. That's probably the longest trip maybe Washington.
I'm still waiting to see the fruits of that for Nebraska because we technically have the best spot for location.
Hey,
we haven't really seen
for us.
Well, for basketball, we have.
For March 3rd, Nebraska plays UCLA. It's a 10 o'clock local time tip here. So midnight, that game gets over. That's a Tuesday night. So
that's gonna be a long night for me and you.
Post game, Austin as well. Post game coverage into the early Wednesday mornings that night. So all the other games though are like noon. I mean, there was a 9 o'clock game with Watt, or that's UCLA, but there's most of the games for Nebraska are weekend games, and 8 o'clock starts. Those are the latest. Those ones are late in a sense, but will be really tested that March 3rd. I circled that day. That is exactly 30 days from now.
I forgot about these West Coast games. I forgot about doing these basketball post games last year.
What's the latest one? Is that
1:30 probably? We're wrapped up.
That's not bad.
I mean, usually it's like we'll do the post game show and we'll keep it going for as long as people want to. But people are on a Tuesday, they have lives and jobs to go to, so they're like, I'd love to listen to you boys, but no. That could
be a pretty important game though. UCLA 16-7 now. They're sitting in kind of that 6, 7, 8 range in the conference right now, so they could be playing bubble watch.
We'll definitely talk about it for an hour and then maybe more.
And Nebraska may be gunning for a top 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament as well.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a second round, a 2 versus 7 seed or something like that. Because UCLA, like I said, they're winning some games and handling business. So that's crazy. So that Rutgers game on Saturday, I would assume Nebraska just kind of handles business. I would assume.
Yeah, I don't want to pull like they're going to dominate. I think they'll win. I don't know. I want to say by how much.
I'll say it's kind of like Minnesota, where they kind of. I'm not going to say Rutgers is winning at halftime, but I think Rutgers can hang around for a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have enough gas in the tank to keep up with Nebraska. Nebraska obviously coming off 2 losses. They're going to want to get back in that win column after seeing their undefeated season come to an end, undefeated conference slate come to the end, and just get back to the win column and prove that, hey, we're moving on to the next one. The next one is Purdue on
the road, right?
It's Purdue's here. It's a week from
nice.
a week from today. So that is the next one. So Nebraska, Purdue. After that one, you just want to handle business at Piscataway and get out of there. There's also, did you see, I don't early break talked about, there's like a trading card giveaway at the game in Piscataway.
No.
So Rutgers is so bad, like their ticket sales are not great. They're doing like a rare trading card like giveaway at the game or something like that.
Northwestern's just selling tickets.
So fans are flocking to go to Rutgers amid a losing season, this rare trading card. So hundreds of people lined up outside Jersey Mike's Arena. That is where in Piscataway where they play. Tickets are not cheap. They're jumping up from $13 as recently as December to $265.
What is the cards they're trading?
It's like it's a second night, blah, blah, blah. Here, this is the second night of a 3-game promotion Rutgers is running with One Piece, a Japanese franchise that started a comic book. It's comic book trading cards, essentially, is what it is. Anime. Yes, it's an anime. And it's been around since 1997, but it's a trading card. It's a very rare trading card. So basically, people are coming to get to games to get these trading cards.
I did not know there was a market for that. Hey, to each their own. That's your thing. Go for it. Go nuts. Spend the money. So
that is why tickets. So
I would not think it's that popular where tickets are going up. That blows me away.
So people, you think like, oh, maybe Rutgers won't have a good crowd because these people aren't coming to, their 9-win basketball season this year. No, they're going to have a nice crowd, but the people there aren't interested in the basketball. They're there to get this anime trading card.
However, you're going to say it's like, yeah, you can get a Michael Jordan card or like a Steph Curry rookie card they're handing out. That was the last thing on my list as to what trading cards. I would have said Pokemon before.
It's anime, but basically people have sold these cards for absurd amount of dollars, and people have become millionaires through overnight because of it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But if they're selling ticket prices for that much, obviously there's a market for it. So like I said, I'm not shaming anyone. You go do you.
So
I'm just caught off guard.
Here's kind of the origin of it before we go to break. So on the first night of the promotion, Rutgers season ticket holders, the ones that wanted to watch the actual basketball game, were angry. They sent emails about being harassed on their way to their seats in a chaotic frenzy entrance of it's a very small, it's 8,000 seat arena.
Yeah.
It's a very kind of compact arena. So Rutgers adjusted Tuesday's encore. They beefed up security significantly while shifting layouts, spreading giveaways, the 2 tables on opposite ends of the arena, while giving everyone vouchers to redeem as they walked in the building. They'll have university police on site for the athletic employees and usual security crew. So this is a big deal. It's
working for them.
It's working. People are buying tickets to go to the game. It's for these trading cards. I don't know. Maybe Rutgers. Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying they're going to win, but it'd be a story if they won with this crowd who aren't really there to support the basketball program, but they're there to see a trading card. Maybe it's the trading card curse. I will call it that. If that's somehow, I don't think that's going to help the team. I think it's kind of a bad look that you're.
Hey, I need money. You guys aren't selling tickets. We'll sell them for you. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if you see other universities be like, that's not a bad idea.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's different.
You only get so many revenue generating sports that when one of them falls flat on its face because they're having a horrendous year, I can understand. Like, I get it that you guys don't like this, but hey,
it's like
we need
some baseball teams do that. They have these weird promotional giveaways. But
at least they're baseball cards
and they're multiple. I don't know. I heard about this on early break this morning, and I was like, this is very interesting, and it's a hot commodity up in Piscataway. So if you make the trip to Piscataway, maybe you walk away with some anime trading cards, and
that's worth a lot of money.
It will be. So
what they say the value of the card was?
Some of them are like thousands of dollars.
Jeez.
So I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I don't know much about anime. I don't know much about trading cards, but it's a draw, I guess. Maybe Nebraska will.
I can see how it works though. Like if I was in Piscataway, I've been like, I'll go watch it. Like see if I can go make a quick, easy $1,000.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't because the tickets cost so much now.
So yeah. So
I wouldn't do it.
Well, tickets were $13. So if you had tickets, but the season ticket holders are not happy.
I can imagine why.
Even though the crowd's gonna be full for your basketball. I'm just curious what that's like. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Nebraska football has a little bit of news about their coaching situation around some of their assistants, and the college football playoff schedule for next year came out, and the season is going to be even longer. So we'll be back here on 93.7 Ticket. Stick with us.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome everybody back. Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman here alongside with Harrison Arns for another half hour. I'm here for another hour and a half actually, but we just got done talking about Nebraska basketball. Just wrapped up homestand playing Illinois, suffered their second loss of the season, going on the Piscataway to go play the Scarlet Knights while the crowd is interested in anime trading cards, as we've learned.
Not the headline I was expecting. That was a good one.
It is.
I like that. We should do that for late night. I don't know. Just give me one unique headline every night because that.
Hey,
like
that's what late night's
radar.
for. There's a lot. I have the Sham Sharani notifications on in case there is a trade that happens. Because like a year ago, a fella named Luka Doncic was traded about 366 days ago to the Lakers. Yeah. Were you live when that happened? I just want to know. And would you think it was fake at first?
Yep.
I was in the same boat.
My phone was blowing up, and I was like, "What's happening?"
I remember
I didn't want to talk about it at first because I was like, "I don't
know if this is real."
Yeah, because if this isn't real, and I'm telling everyone on air, like, "Hey, Luka Doncic just got."
I remember I was like, "All right, maybe I'll get to bed early this night," and it was like 11:30, and I got out of the shower and I looked at my phone. And I have the notifications on for like a couple other basketball Twitter accounts, and I was like, "Did they get hacked? Is this?"
I still think Nico Harrison was a scapegoat and all that. I don't think you don't build a team around Luka and then
Mavs got the first pick and got Cooper flagged, so maybe that was a win-win for them. They were like, maybe you get the number one pick for giving. I don't know.
We have a generational talent, but what if we trade him in potential to get a generational talent? Like that's
NBA
stupid.
Conspiracies. But we're talking a little bit of Nebraska football for this segment. Nebraska special teams coach Josh Martin left. He's hired as the head coach at Liberty Christian High School in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of odd, do you think, leaving for a high school job?
Maybe. The Texas pay is probably pretty damn good.
So do you know who the head coach of Liberty Christian High School was recently before Josh Martin now takes over?
Oh, no idea.
Jason Witten, the former tight end.
Oh, I did hear that.
So
yeah, that's right.
And now he's on Oklahoma's staff with Brett Venables. So it must be a solid football.
Yeah.
It must be a pretty solid. It's Texas high school football.
And they're paying more than what our coaches in Nebraska are getting paid.
Which is, you think that's an issue? You think?
I don't know if it's an issue. I just think it's it's the fruits of it. I mean, Texas really loves their football and they show up for it. So they have the money to pay for it. We have LPS. Every state has its different rules on how these things work.
So last year, Liberty Christian went 8-4 in the playing football. They got knocked out in the quarterfinals, 49-34. They had a pretty good offense, scoring about 40 points a game, 8 losses. They started the year 0-2 and ended the year 8-4. So, I mean, it's a academy school, basically. They lost to Prestonwood Christian 49-34 on November 21st. So that's where Josh Martin is going to be. But reportedly, Nebraska is bringing in
Sean Callahan reported this. Not bringing in, just elevating.
Yeah, but Brett Maher, named special teams coordinator, and Nick Humphrey will be co-special teams coordinator, which are interesting because Maher, former player, obviously, former kicker. He played in the NFL. He played in the CFL. Retired in 2023. Spent time with the Cowboys and the Jets, most notably. And then Humphrey came with Eckler to Nebraska last season after he was with Tennessee. So he is a Mike Eckler guy. I think it's fine. They're co. You have a guy who's been in the Mike Eckler situation and been in that kind of his seat, and then you have a guy who knows what it's like to be on the special teams at Nebraska as a player. So I see the potential there.
Yeah, potential. I don't know. The only thing that makes me nervous is I said this the other night, like DP runs the station. I've been learning under DP. If DP leaves and now, Harrison's been learning under him, he should be good enough to take over. No, I'm not. That's my fear with that. Like, maybe they really are that good and they picked it up easy and they can go coach this thing and there's no drop off. But if there's a drop off, it's going to be tough to like get the Husker fan base, being able to understand it, because there's plenty of time to go out there and go look for a good special teams coordinator. We've seen what it looks like when it's not good on that phase of the game. So it could blow up or it could be just totally fine. And I might be over exaggerating here.
It's weird just because like they spoke so highly of Mike Eckler. Mike Eckler leaves. Took about a week and a half to finally announce that he was gone to USC, which
working it out apparently. Trying.
It was very weird just because it's kind of helping, but that's Nebraska football going on. The college football playoff schedule for next year came out. I don't know if you saw this. Have you seen it?
No, I have seen like little bits of it. I didn't get through the full.
So this will be the third year of the 12-team playoff. Obviously,
it's longer is about all.
Yeah, you could say. You could say it. So the first round games will be played on campus, obviously, with those dates being announced later. More than likely, Friday, Saturday. The quarterfinals will begin on a Wednesday, December 30th, in the Fiesta Bowl, and then there'll be the New Year's Eve, and then there'll be the 3 other ones on Friday, January 1st, 2027, the quarterfinals. Do you find it weird they're not playing on that Thursday?
A little bit.
You know why they're playing it on a Wednesday instead?
No.
The NFL, Thursday Night Football. I think that's dumb. It's Thursday Night Football. And if you want to, just play the bowl game or play the Fiesta Bowl at like 3 o'clock and then
people will watch.
Though there's probably other bowl games going on, more than likely, that day. And then January 1st probably happens. Then January 2nd, there's usually a couple leftover bowl games to wrap up bowl season. And then the playoff continues. However, the college football playoff semifinals, after those quarterfinal games on January 1st, will be played 2 weeks later, Thursday, January 14th, with the Capital One Orange Bowl, and Friday, January 15th, in the All-State Sugar Bowl. So New Year's Day, you have the 3 quarterfinal games. The one played on a Wednesday, and then you have to wait 2 more weeks till the semifinals.
What's with the extra week?
I don't know. Rest? I don't know. I just think it drags on forever. How I would do it is I'd have the bowl games start going at, I have the Army-Navy game that, your conference championships, Army-Navy, or Black Friday week, and then you have conference championships, Army-Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the Army-Navy at itself, the 3 o'clock game. You can have bowl games at 11 a.m., noon, or whatever, and then Army-Navy at 3, and then play one at night, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can stack them all like those days where you play them, 11, 3, 6, and 9, depending on the location. I like the days when there's 4 bowl games on or whatever. I know they like to have them stand alone, but when you have the Idaho Potato Bowl is the only bowl game on a Monday night or a Monday, which I understand because Monday Night Football, but You could have 2 games that day before and then have an 11 a.m. and a 2 o'clock game and then get in the Monday Night Football. I don't know.
People have proven too, they'll just go watch both. They'll have it on both screens.
I know.
There's so many households that just stream multiple games at the same time.
I just don't understand why they're doing a Wednesday night kick, a Wednesday night, and then
the
game, and then that team has to wait like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
so
the 2 weeks to me is ridiculous. I don't know why you're going
2 weeks for the semifinal, and then the championship is not being played until Monday, January 25th in Las Vegas.
So another 2-week break, or is that at least
10 days? 10 days from the second semifinal.
So
11 days from the first semifinal.
So they kind of moved instead of 2 weeks.
It's a week later than this. This year's is from 2026 championship to 2020. It's a week later. So theoretically speaking, last Monday would have been the national championship for college football.
And they want to add more teams to the playoffs.
That's what I mean. Like I don't
never be over.
I don't know how you fix it. I want the champion. In a perfect world, which
let's get rid of bye weeks, which no one wants.
You'd have to play less regular season games, which nobody wants either, because then you're cutting in the home games, and that's how teams get fans of games and everything. In a perfect world, which we clearly are not, I think the national championship should be played on New Year's Day, 3:00 at the Rose Bowl, and then the season's over. I know the NFL likes to have their thing, but then it's just, you get that Rose Bowl sunset, great championship environment. You have the game. I don't know how you make it work. Unless you
got to start cutting things.
I think you eliminate the conference championships at that point.
You'd have to.
Every conference plays 9 conference games, all the Power 4 ones. I would keep the Army-Navy game. I know they're trying to get rid of it. I think you keep it in that week. Maybe even like the playoff week. You get rid of the conference championships and you use that as like a play-in. If you extend the playoff or whatever to 16 or whatever they want to do, you play a playoff game at 11 a.m., Army-Navy game, standalone, 3:00. You still have that, and then you have a night game, and then you have this 2 playing, and you have those on Friday or whatever. I don't know. It's such a broken system that it's going to get even more broken once you get there. And this is just the scheduling. We're not throwing in the revenue sharing, the NIL, the transfer portal.
Well, at least the Big Ten got shut down on their suggestion for the new bracket because they wanted 24. It was so bad that
too many.
We got stifled just back to no. We'll just rerun it. You guys,
24 is like that's like every ranked team gets in.
Yeah.
You get some teams are like 8-4 and they get ranked.
Yeah, the 25th team gets left out.
But then there's going to be debate about that. Like, oh, we only lost to Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Nebraska, but we beat Fresno State
but we could definitely go on a run and beat Oregon, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Georgia.
That's what I mean.
Win it all.
And then if one of those 8-4 teams, I don't know, maybe they had an injured quarterback or something like that for half the year, and then they come back and go 8-0. Do you leave them out just because the quarterback's back? Or that's when it gets fit. I think the FCS has it the perfect way where they have they've always done the same format every year, but they also it's just FCS. There's less teams, and I don't know. It's a broken system, and it's never going to be right. And
you're always going to be arguing about the last 2.
I always
should have been in.
Same. I mean, 4, 8 teams, 12 teams, 16 teams, 24 teams. I think regardless, there is an argument for who has the better resume. This team should have been in. This team deserved to be in. This team doesn't deserve to be in. Whatnot. And there's never going to be a correct answer. And I like 12 though. I do like the format there right now.
It works perfect with Miami.
Exactly. And they didn't win their conference, but that was just because the ACC tiebreaker system was broken and Duke ended up winning it in a system where only the conference Duke would have been in the playoff.
Yeah, because they upset Virginia.
They upset Virginia. I mean, Virginia honestly could have really had a real chance to make the playoffs if they win that game. And
I know.
It's just a crazy, like hypothetical, like what if situation. But that's all we got for this segment. Crazy Nebraska little coaching news, but interesting nuggets.
Real quick, you feel better or worse or the same about the special team situation now?
About the same. I need to see it just because we won't spring ball. You will see it is what it is. You won't see a whole lot because it's more about what you see on offense and defense. You won't know until in a game, which is
ways away.
Is a little scary, but I trust the process, and hopefully they can. I'm not crossing my fingers during every single PAT and field goal come the fall.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah, I kind of expected this to happen with the news.
And it's special teams, and you just won't know until the fact. I mean, if kicker's good, kicker's going to nail his kicks. It all comes down to a snap and a hold too. And if all that's on rhythm, you should be good. But then again, I'm not a coach, so it may be as simple as that, but I'm assuming it's not, because coaching in football is hard. So we're gonna take a break here, late night, and then we'll wrap up the first hour after this break here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Dio Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Dio Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diotech online at diotech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hi, I'm Scott Miller, Business Development Officer at Midwest Bank's Lincoln branches. As a lifelong Lincolnite with over 30 years of experience in financial management, I'm here to help your business grow and succeed. My focus is building strong relationships with businesses and clients across Lincoln. Because at Midwest Bank, we believe banking is about people, not just numbers. Visit us at midwest.bank or stop by one of our Lincoln locations. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Starter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and install quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back. 93.7 Ticket, Late Night in Lincoln. Nick Whyman alongside Harrison Arns for this final segment of Hour 1 here on this beloved Tuesday evening, February 3rd, 2026. There was a football, I wouldn't say a game. There was football tonight, but there was the Pro Bowl games were on tonight. I'm not going to call it the Pro Bowl. It was the Pro Bowl games.
Just called activities. Pro Bowl activities.
I am not a fan. I mean, even before like they did the flag football, like there was guys just kind of going out there and not really trying, and running backs just kind of tucking the ball, and then it's like, oh, 1 yard run, you got 2 hand touch, you're down, and no one really rushing the passer. Do you have nothing on the game from tonight? Nothing.
No, I'm super curious what the score was. I'll take a swing at it.
I have seen a very limited. I've seen a couple. I saw a trick play. Joe Burrow threw a pass to Tyreek Hill, and he threw it back to Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow kind of just casually walked into the end zone for a touchdown. All right, Harrison, what do you think the final score is? I don't care who the winner is. Just put out a score.
65-72.
66-52 win for the NFC.
That was close.
The ESPN app has no stats.
So they're not even trying.
I was like, maybe I can get something, but the MVPs of the game were George Pickens and for offense in the NFC for Cowboys player, then Antoine Winfield Jr. on the Bucks. The NFC team tried to run the tush push when Jalen Hurts was in.
Flag football, by the way.
Flag football. I really don't know. Like, NFL makes so much money with their games, and they're going to all these international games. They've announced they're going to France, they're going to Australia, and whatnot in the future, and they're trying to get every single team to play at least one international game.
And Jacksonville 3.
Exactly. They're trying to get as many international games they want. Do you think it's time to scrap the Pro Bowl as a whole? I think all-star games in general kind of have lost their luster, not just in football, but the NBA all-star games tried everything. And I mean everything. They've tried everything to make it work. MLB, they used to play National League, American League. They still do, but they used to play winner of the game got home field advantage for the World Series for their league. They don't do that anymore. And then
but at least it's still a little bit of a competition.
It's baseball.
It's better than, I'd say it's probably the best
100%
out of all of the ones we just mentioned so far.
The issue I have, a couple years ago, they introduced that like home run derby instead of doing extra innings.
Yeah, which is
it's
not.
It's very gimmicky
Mhm.
in baseball. I think they don't want to go more gimmicky because it's just it's baseball. Like, play an extra inning, and if it's tied, it's a tie. Just call it a tie. It's an all-star game. It's not meant for anything. The NBA has tried everything in their book. They're doing 3 teams again this year. USA World. I don't know how that's going to look, but it is interesting. But dunk contest, they've tried. Nobody wants to do the dunk contest anymore, really.
It's been like that for a while.
I know, and even the
LeBron James has never done the dunk contest. And obviously, he won't
so
now.
VJ Edgecombe, rookie on the Sixers, they asked him, and he kind of was like, "No, why should I?" Like, he was very distraught. Like, there's no reason I should do the dunk contest, which is not a good look, I'd say.
Well, it's like I don't know, it's an opportunity.
You probably get paid if you win. I mean, Zach LaVine and some of the dunk contests and
the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine era.
Yeah, Nate Thomas being in it, winning it. I mean,
Larry Nance Jr. That was a good year.
There, Jeremy Evans, he was a kind of a bench rider, but he had a couple wins with the Utah Jazz. But the All-Star game, Pro Bowl, whatnot, I just think the system's kind of just people just don't care enough.
But you ruin history is the problem. But now
I think you still honor like the Pro Bowl. You still honor like the guys who make it, and
so you just select Pro Bowl, but you don't play the game.
Exactly. I think you do that because then you get your incentives.
I'm not losing anything. Sure.
You get your contract incentives for being a Pro Bowler, and I think then you don't have a situation where Joe Flacco, who played for the Browns and Bengals, played 10 games this year. Joe Burrow, who played a handful of games, and then Shedeur Sanders, who played for the Browns for half a season. Like 2 Bengals quarterbacks should not be playing in the Pro Bowl unless somehow you're playing a 2 quarterback system that's working, which they did not. Clearly, Joe Burrow is the guy, and then Justin Fields was going to be selected. And he said, no, I want to focus on free agency. And Justin Fields was not a Pro Bowler.
And then he also said no to the New York Jets.
Yeah, because he's going to be getting ready for free agency and trying to get another opportunity in the league, which his Jets tenure did not go well.
Yeah, and if you're in the New York Jets, like, why are you even asking him?
I don't know. It's such
of course he's going to say no.
It was such a weird decision. Pro Bowl, I was going to talk a little bit more to close the show, the end of the show, but there were 2 Huskers who played in the Pro Bowl tonight. Cam Jurgens and
who's the other?
Luke Gifford.
Oh, shout out Luke Gifford
because he's on special teams.
Yeah,
special teams.
I forgot about that.
They both got in the Pro Bowl, so Huskers representing. I think that's the one takeaway. If you're a Husker fan, you can have. I know the game is kind of, I don't know, 66-52. Like I said, I barely have seen any highlights. It's a weird system where I just lost. It's on a Tuesday night. Like it used to be on a Sunday before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Some years it was in Hawaii. I think going to Hawaii was cool. I get it why they don't do it because the whole Aloha Stadium's under construction still. Well, Hawaii's trying to get that together. It is
also they don't make money on it probably anymore.
Exactly.
For how much they got to put into it.
It's just such a, I don't know. The systems. I just don't care about the Pro Bowl. You're having it on Tuesday night. I just don't care. And a lot of people have the same opinion where they're not going to sit around and watch guys play flag football on a Tuesday evening. So that's hour 1. We'll be back here in a little bit for hour 2. Harrison's going to get out of here for tonight. So he's going to go and get some sleep. So we'll be right back here. 93.7 Ticket, Nick Whyman here on Late Night in Lincoln.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows. Blue-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. The Southern Hospitality Tour. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Black Crows. With South Hall, August 4th. Pinewood Bowl Theater and Lincoln's Pioneers Park. Tickets on sale Friday, February 6th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
So as women, we're so hard on ourselves, and I just wanted a simple way to feel confident again and to feel like me again. And the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan gave me that little spark back and can also give it to you too. A full body light that makes my skin and my spirit feel brighter.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscaping project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back. Hour 2 is here. Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman here. Harrison, thank you for the hour you gave me as we just wrapped up hour 1 here on Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman. On this Tuesday evening, it's a little chilly, but it sounds like the weather is going to get better as the week progresses here in the capital city. About 28 degrees right now. Still a tad chilly, but it sounds like it's going to be almost 60 degrees on Thursday, which is solid. I'll take it. But yep, here we are. We got one more hour here before we send you into your Wednesday. About said Tuesday, my days are thrown off. Everything kind of blends together on this Tuesday before you send you into your Wednesday. 402-464-5685. Sorry, Heyman Jewelers text line. Chat with me. We got another hour, a little under an hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. If you're watching on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, or on Allo channel 961. Harrison and me just got done talking about, we kind of recapped the weekend review for Nebraska men's basketball as they suffered 2 losses. They're getting ready to have Piscataway on Saturday to go take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Game starting at 11 o'clock. Post-game coverage will be at 1 o'clock local time as the Huskers and the Scarlet Knights will have it right here. Husker Hoops post-game around 1 o'clock on Saturday. Austin Norman will obviously be here. Austin, a veteran at his craft. We also talked about the college football playoff for next year is going to be later. The last week of January, the championship game will be played. My final thoughts on that is they should play that on New Year's Day. I don't know how you could do it with the scheduling. It's always going to be a problem. And if you're trying to expand the playoff and whatnot, but championship game should be New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl. Have that sunset on the college football season. That's how it should be. And then we just kind of slowly recapped the Pro Bowl or the Pro Bowl games or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. And it is a funky situation where it's a flag football game and it's played on a Tuesday night. Now, usually used to play it on a Sunday before the Super Bowl week, but now it is a flag football game, which nobody really tries too hard because they don't want to get hurt. But incentives are there for being a Pro Bowler, and it's just kind of there. And I don't know how you fix it, how you get people to care about it again. Do you scrap the game as a whole due to the NFL's making enough money as a whole? And you could, with all those international games they're having, trying to get every team to play at least one international game and maybe just honor the system of, hey, you were a Pro Bowler, here's your incentive money for in your contract for being a Pro Bowl, having a Pro Bowl season, be elected to a Pro Bowl, but don't play the game. Just honor the Pro Bowl and move on. Some other All-Star games like the NBA could also do that, as the interest for the All-Star games have kind of just dwindled across. Baseball, obviously, MLB still has their All-Star game, not playing for home field advantage in the World Series, but it's still just kind of there, and at least it's still sort of a baseball game. I mean, they did that home run derby and to decide extra innings a couple years ago, but I still think at least it's a baseball game. In a sense, it's very hard to screw that up. So, hour 2 here, 402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman Julius text line. We're going to get into some NBA talk. The NBA season is heating up as the college football and the NFL season come to a close. The NBA trade deadline is we have about 2 days until that becomes Thursday. The trade deadline closes. The trade, it was a very quiet start to the NBA trade deadline because the Trae Young trade happened last month when he went from the Hawks to the Wizards. And that was a shocking move, I'd say, because he was kind of there for the Hawks his entire career and goes to the Wizards, which seems like a very pivot. But that's just where he went. So we're going to go back to kind of like the trades, all the trades that have happened in the last couple of days. There's been a couple of them, a handful of them, some of them bigger than others. Obviously, one that happened this afternoon or this evening that we'll get into that kind of maybe will start the flow of the trade deadline and kind of some names that are still out there that could be traded and some teams that might be interested. So your thoughts just on the NBA trade deadline in general, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman Julius text line. So the Cavaliers, not the trade you're thinking of that I'm going to bring up here in a little bit in a couple of minutes, but on January 31st, the Cavaliers made a trade. The Cavaliers acquired Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. The Kings got DeAndre Hunter, and the Bulls got Dario Saric and picks, two future second-round picks. The Cavs get 2 guards, Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder's been around the league for a while. He's jumped around teams since he started his career with the Hawks, obviously with the Lakers, the Celtics, and now he's going to do the Kings. The Cavs just looking to get some guard play. Keon Ellis as well. He kind of blossomed in Sacramento when they went to the playoffs a couple of years ago. And now he's going to Cleveland. DeAndre Hunter didn't really work out with the Cavs. He was also a Hawks guy, didn't work out. And then Cavs, they thought they'd bring him in and maybe something would stick. Didn't really work out there. So now the Cavs are getting those 2 guards. Bulls get Dario Saric and 2 future second-round picks in 2027 and 2029. And DeAndre Hunter heads to the Kings. That's one of the trades that happened. There's 2, maybe 3 big trades that have happened over the course of the last 24 hours. One of the more interesting ones, the Jazz traded, they got Jaren Jackson Jr. So one of the names I was thinking of was Ja Morant. He's been kind of thrown around. The Grizzlies all-star guard has been thrown around as maybe he's the guy that's going to get traded in the coming days. However, no, Jaren Jackson Jr. got traded. The Grizzlies right now sitting outside the play-in. They are the 11 spot, 19 and 29. They trade Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are sitting in 13th in the Western Conference with a record of 16 and 35. So neither team's really hitting their stride. Neither team would make the playoffs if the season ended today. But Jazz get Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr., 4 players from the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies then get Walter Clayton Jr., who we remember from Florida last year, helped the Florida Gators win a national title, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, and Georges Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. Kind of an odd trade because both teams are not right now in the playoffs. Are the Jazz trying to make a comeback here in the second half of the season and try to make a push for a play-in spot? I guess, with Jaren Jackson Jr. Grizzlies, it seems like they're kind of going to that rebuilding stage. You know, obviously things have happened where they haven't been able to kind of hit their stride and been able to break into that top 8 spot in the Western Conference. I find that trade very interesting because I don't know what either franchise is trying to do. Grizzlies seems like they're trying to just stack that. They got, you know, a lot of those 3 future first round picks for Jaren Jackson Jr., which is odd because guys like Trae Young and Luka Doncic trades only got 1 future first round pick. But Jaren Jackson Jr. and company gets you 3 first-round picks, future first-round picks. I don't know where that logic's interesting because Jaren Jackson Jr. is not on the same level as he's a really good player. Don't get me wrong, and he has some role players there. But Luka and Trae Young, obviously all-star players, only get 1 first-round pick, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. somehow gets you 3. There's a lot of other variables in this trade. You're flopping 4 guys on each side, plus a couple picks going to the Grizzlies, but interesting trade because both teams are right now sitting on the outside. Maybe the Jazz are trying to make a push. I mean, right now the Jazz they are about eight and a half games out of the play-in game, or Portland right now holds the 10 spot. Memphis is 3 games out of the play-in spot, so is Memphis just kind of, maybe John Morant falls. Maybe John Morant's next domino to fall out of Memphis. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? People have thrown out like teams like the Miami Heat, maybe. But I don't see it happening. The Heat have kind of been a team where they kind of like just sit on their hands and watch the trade deadline go by and kind of are fine with the roster they have. That's what they've done the last couple of years. There's a guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo who's also been thrown around the trade rumors. He is the domino, I think, that we're waiting to see fall. He's one of the guys I'll talk about. I obviously mentioned John Morant, but Giannis is kind of the guy, the market. He obviously pretty much said they're trying to find a way to get him out of Milwaukee, which is kind of crazy to say. I thought Giannis would be a lifer in Milwaukee after he signed his first extension back around 2020, helped them win an NBA Finals, beat the Phoenix Suns. It just kind of felt like he was going to be a lifer with the Milwaukee Bucks, just the way his rise to fame with the Bucks organization. Drafted, wasn't the biggest guy out there. Some people, I myself included, didn't even know how to pronounce his last name right away. And he grew to be a household name, and he's one of the top players in the NBA. And now he's looking to leave Milwaukee. If he's traded by the trade line, maybe this offseason. It's hard to see those superstar players get traded, though. I mean, Luka one, obviously sort of an outlier, but seeing guys like that caliber get traded in season. I mean, Kevin Durant's one of them. He's done it multiple times. He did the one with the Suns. That was also obviously shocking when his exit from Brooklyn happened. Other than that, haven't really seen many superstar players of that caliber being traded. Anthony Davis leaving New Orleans was one, or he's one of them. That was an offseason move, but most of them are in the offseason. So that's one of them, one trade that happened over the last couple days. The Bulls also making a trade with the Pistons, kind of a smaller trade, but some role players, some fringe starters in the league. The Bulls get Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr., and the Pistons get Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric, who I mentioned earlier. Dario Saric was in a trade earlier. He already got traded again. And the Pistons also will get a 2026 first-round protected swap from the Timberwolves. So that's Jaden Ivey, point guard, used to play for Purdue when he was in college, heading to the Bulls, from the Pistons to the Bulls, alongside Mike Conley Jr., a veteran guard in the league. So the Bulls are stacking up guards. They have so many guards on their team for the Chicago Bulls. They are a interesting team with all those guard plays. Ayo Dosunmu's there. Kobe White, obviously, there. They have so many guards on their team. The Bulls right now sitting in the 10 spot, 1 game in front of Charlotte, who Charlotte is one of the hottest teams in the NBA. They've won 7 straight games. Con Kneppel, LaMelo Ball, that group has been on fire, one of the hottest teams in the league. I mean, the New York Knicks have also won 7 in a row, but that is kind of crazy. The Charlotte Hornets, they have tried to put stuff together for about a decade now, and nothing's really stuck. Even when they were the Charlotte Bobcats, nothing really stuck when they were the Bobcats. But Bulls right now sitting at the 10 spot. The Pistons currently are number 1 in the league, number 1 in the Eastern Conference at 37-12, 5.5 up on the Knicks and the Celtics. So I do like what the Pistons got in this. Dario Saric's been a role player for some years now. Kevin Huerter was with the Hawks for a couple of the years when they were in the playoffs. Was with the Bulls recently. Also was with the Kings. So he's been around. He's been in big playoff games before. So the Pistons, again, the Bulls just have so many guards right now. They bring in Mike Conley, a veteran guard, so I like that addition. But the Bulls, I don't really know what they're full. They have Modest Buzelis, the guy they drafted last year, but they have so many guards on that team. So many guards. Let me look at this real quick. Chicago Bulls. Let's look at this roster. 24-27, currently sitting at the 3rd in the Central Division, which doesn't mean a lot with the divisions anymore, but 10th would make the plan. You got Mike Conley now there. Ayo Dosunmu, as mentioned. Josh Giddey, Jaden Ivey, who just they got Trey Jones, Anthony Simons. We'll get into him here in a second too. And then Kobe White. Those are all their guards on the team. They have a really large stock of guards on their roster right now. A lot of really solid ones too. Thinking of Anthony Simons, he got traded today as well. The Bulls were very active in the trade market on Tuesday, February 3rd. The Bulls get Anthony Simons in a second-round pick, while the Celtics get Nikola Vucevic. And the Celtics finally filled their center role for the season. The Celtics currently are sitting, as mentioned, they are tied for second with the New York Knicks. They're in third due to tiebreakers. The Boston Celtics third overall in the Eastern Conference, even without Jason Tatum. They are sitting in third, which is crazy to say. I didn't know the Celtics would still be playing at this caliber of a level. Boston Celtics third, 32-18. Bulls, as mentioned, 10th in the standings. The Celtics now have a center in Nikola Vucevic, who's played for a number of teams, played with the Bulls, played with the Magic. Bring him in. That should help. Kita's played a little bit of center. They have Luka Garza there, but that's bringing in a all-star caliber center for your team. Put around Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and company. Those are the three guys with averaging 15-plus points per game on the team. Bringing a guy like him should help you in the long run. And Boston's trying to make a run for another championship. That's basically what this says. Bulls get rid of him, bring in another guard on the roster. So they have a plethora of guards on the Chicago Bulls. So the Bulls were obviously in the market. The Jazz made that big splash trade with multiple assets moving elsewhere to the Grizzlies and the Jazz, number one guy being Jared Jackson Jr. But the big trade that happened today, well, this evening, basically, Clippers trade James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, you heard that right. James Harden on the move. Feels like every other offseason or every offseason and in season, he's been traded multiple times throughout his NBA career. His NBA career, changing teams kind of synonymous with him. Whether that be trades, whether that be signings. That's kind of been James Harden. But James Harden's having a pretty solid season. 25 points per game, 16th in the league. Kind of a resurgence year with the Clippers. But he's always going to score at that rate. He scored 22 last year with the Clippers. But before that, he was averaging 16 points per game. Played in 72 games in 2023-24. Then played in 79 games last year, averaging 22 points per game. Now he's averaging 25.5 points per game, which is the best he's done since, you're looking back at how he's played, best scoring output he's had in a season since 2020-21 when he was with the Houston Rockets. And that year, he's averaging 24.8. So this is his best season since then, averaging points. Before that, Brooklyn, 24.6. And with his 1 year and a couple years in Philadelphia, was around 21 points per game. So stats are up across the board for James Harden right now. But you look at his career, James Harden played in so many franchises. He had 3 years at OKC, kind of where he got started, coming off the bench. Played in NBA Finals with that crew when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were kind of a big what if. Obviously gets dealt to Houston, has MVP caliber seasons. He's kind of the groundwork of the Houston Rockets franchise for several years, from 2012 until 2021. But then goes to Brooklyn with Kyrie. It's traded there with Kyrie. He had a falling out with Houston. We all saw that happen in real time. That got ugly. Lee gets traded to Brooklyn right before the 2020-2021 season begins and plays 2 years with them. The Brooklyn Big Three did not work out with Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. He gets dealt again, ends up in Philadelphia, where that didn't work out. Nothing really came about that. Didn't play in a lot of games either. 2021, 2022 only played 21 games. Then he played 58 games in 2022, 2023 with Philadelphia, averaging around 21, 22 points per game. Goes to the Clippers, 2023, 2024. Like I mentioned, played 72 games in that season. Only averaged 16.6 points per game. Last year, 79 games, averaged 22.8. This year, in 44 games, he is averaging 25.4 points per game. And it's kind of wild that he wanted out after he kind of opted back in. So he's heading to another franchise. Seems like it's a story of his career down the latter half of his career since the Houston days where he played there for multiple years. Now he's kind of treading water, jumping from team to team. The Clippers currently sitting in 9th place in the Western Conference standings, 23-26. About a half game up on Portland for that 9 spot. 3.5 games up on Memphis for being out of the play-in contention. But Clippers deal them. Clippers in return get Darius Garland and a 2nd-round pick. So they get a guard in return, a solid point guard. Cleveland, he had a rough playoff showing with Cleveland, but gets a move to LA, and he'll be playing alongside Kawhi Leonard and company in a team that needs a guard after Chris Paul situation falling out. He got released, and with James Harden moving on to Cleveland. With Cleveland now, Cleveland currently staying in 5th place, 30-20 overall, 8 games out of first place. They're in the 5th spot. They would play Toronto in the playoffs right now in the 4-5 match if the season went on. Toronto, what a story they've been. But James Harden going to the Cavs, I think this is a interesting situation because you're pairing him alongside guys like Donovan Mitchell now, Jarrett Allen, Lonzo Ball, Keon Ellis, who I mentioned earlier, Evan Mobley, Max Strus, Jalen Tyson, who's been pretty solid, Dean Wade, who's played valuable minutes. It is going to be a very interesting watch to see James Harden in a Cavaliers uniform. I don't think I ever pictured that, but since he's kind of jumped from team to team, from Brooklyn to Philadelphia to the Clippers, and now to another franchise, it's not entirely something that I see that was impossible. But there's dominoes to fall still. I think this is just the beginning. We still have Wednesday, a full day tomorrow. There's still tonight. I've been checking my phone. I have Shams Charania, the ESPN basketball reporter, have his notifications on just in case if something comes in, because it feels like a lot of these trades happen after the fact with games. But they land James Harden in Cleveland to partner him alongside Donovan Mitchell and try to make a little bit of a title pursuit. I would assume that's what the Cavaliers are trying to accomplish, bringing in a former MVP like James Harden, who is having 16th in scoring currently in the NBA with around 25.4 points per game. That is all I have on the NBA. A lot will happen here in the next 48 hours. The trade deadline happening on Thursday afternoon. But we still have another half hour here on Late Night in Lincoln. Come back, Nebraska women's basketball gearing up to make a road trip out to Ann Arbor. They are playing a top-ranked team in not only the Big Ten, but one of the best teams in the country right now. They are coming off, the Michigan Wolverines are coming off a win over Michigan State on Sunday in a overtime thriller in women's basketball that happened last Sunday, where Michigan came out on top. But Nebraska heading on the road for women's basketball. After that, we'll wrap up the show with a little bit, maybe more thoughts on the Pro Bowl, and maybe a little bit. We tried to include the Olympics, with the Olympics coming up here. Games starting as Thursday, but the opening ceremony is on Friday, and then 2 weeks worth of games. We'll talk a little bit about some of the storylines, and one big storyline to watch as the Winter Olympics progresses. You're listening to Late Night in Lincoln here on 90.7 The Ticket. Nick Whyman, we'll be right back after this break.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back to the 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Nick Whyman here, Late Night in Lincoln, here on 93.7 The Ticket, 1040 O Street. Rocking with you till midnight. We got a little under a half an hour left here on this Tuesday evening. We had Harrison in for the first hour, as he does on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Talked about Nebraska men's basketball, college football playoff, Nebraska coaching, bringing in Brett Maher, reportedly bringing in Brett Maher, and elevating another coach to assistant to a special teams role. We talked about the Pro Bowl. And then last segment, we talked about the NBA trade deadline, which is into full swing. We've seen some moves, some larger than others. Obviously, James Harden being the domino that fell earlier this afternoon across college, the NBA. He's moving on to yet another NBA franchise, and that being the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are pairing Harden alongside Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen to try in pursuit of an NBA championship. As the Cavaliers last year had an outstanding season, but fell short. And now you have the Cavs, who are currently the 5 seed in the Eastern Conference in early February, trying to make a run as they sit behind Boston, New York, and the Pistons and the Raptors in the standings. So we're going to move on. So we're going to stick with basketball. But we're moving on. There is a big game tomorrow night for Nebraska women's basketball. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock in Ann Arbor at Chrysler Center. Nebraska men's basketball obviously played there a week ago as of today. 8 days as of tomorrow. Nebraska women's basketball are heading up to Ann Arbor to battle the Wolverines of Michigan, who come in ranked 8th in the nation tomorrow evening. Tip off of that game between Nebraska, who is ranked 24 in a top 25 matchup, is at 6 o'clock. Nebraska enters 16-6, 5-6 in Big Ten play, while the Wolverines are 19-3, 10-1 in Big Ten play. Michigan is really good. They are really solid. They enter in as they played a game against Michigan State the other day where they were down and they were up. They were up on Michigan State, and they had to try to make a comeback, and they couldn't. And they weren't able to. My mistake. I said Nebraska was ranked 24th. They are not ranked at all. They fell out of the rankings back on January 24th. Nebraska coming off a loss the other February 1st, Sunday to Ohio State. So Nebraska playing 3 days later against another top 15 ranked team. So excuse me, Nebraska is not ranked in the top 25, but they are playing number 8 Michigan in the rankings. Interesting. Michigan, like I said, they were up on Michigan State, playing a rival in East Lansing on Sunday. Michigan State makes a huge comeback. In the end, Michigan had the ball with a chance to win in regulation, turn it over, and Michigan State threw up like a 3/4 court shot that almost rattled in to win the game. But the game went into overtime, and Michigan kind of flexed their muscles and were able to pull together a little bit of run and gather some momentum on the road against their rivals, and were able to take down Spartans in East Lansing. So Michigan entering 19-3. They've been able to handle business. There's Nebraska obviously coming off a 90-21 loss against Ohio State. Nebraska trailed by 20 late in the third quarter, but were able to kind of chop away. But Ohio State were able to win, and Ohio State moved up 2 spots in the AP poll with that win, climbing to number 9, right behind the Michigan Wolverines, who are now number 8 in the nation. So, yeah, the overtime win. Michigan State was ranked number 13. Nebraska played them, obviously, earlier this regular season. Nebraska fell short out in East Lansing in a close ball game, but Michigan walked out with a 94-91 win over Michigan State in that rivalry game. And Wolverines have posted 4 straight wins since losing to top 10 Vanderbilt team in New Jersey in a neutral site game back on January 19th. So Michigan has just continued to win. So Michigan owns 8 straight Big Ten wins. So their winning streak obviously ended when that Vanderbilt game happened, but they've won 8 straight Big Ten games since losing to Washington 64-52 on New Year's Day, which was followed by a 92-82 double overtime win over Oregon on December 29th. So Michigan is a tough team and a tough out, and they've proved it not only on the road, but also they are very tough at home. Michigan women's basketball this year is 11-0 in home games this year. No one has been able to touch them in Ann Arbor at the Chrysler Center. Nebraska could be that first team, and it will be an interesting one because Nebraska, like I said, they've been able to beat the teams they're supposed to beat, but they've fallen to these ranked teams. They continue to suffer losses against ranked teams, whether that be they do have the one to Iowa, but they have a loss to Michigan State in a narrow loss. Wisconsin was unranked. They lost to them in a narrow loss. UCLA and Ohio State, I would say, are pretty big outliers. Ohio State is really good. I don't think they were number 11. I think they were a top 10 team even before then. They should have probably been a top 10 team. They look like a top 10 team scoring 90 points, and they're really good. But Nebraska stuck with them for around a bit, but the third quarter kind of got away with them. They tried to chop away at it, but not much. UCLA, obviously, an outlier as well. I'd say UCLA looks like a legit team in women's college basketball. They look like a team I would probably have in my Final Four if the season ended as of right now, but there's still a month of games remaining as well as the Big Ten tournament. There's a lot to be decided still. Nebraska's got opportunities. They have to find a way to win against these ranked teams. And that's kind of been their Achilles heel throughout the year. I know you're down a couple of players like Natalie Potts, who's redshirting this year. That was announced early last week that she would not return this season. But you got to find a way to win. And Britt Prince, like I said, when she scores about 15 plus points, Nebraska's going to have a really good chance to win. And they need that. And last game, she only scored 12. Didn't shoot very well from the floor. And Ohio State was able to limit her on the offensive, which gave Ohio State a good chance to run away with that game, which they ended up winning by 19 points. 5 of Nebraska's 6 losses this season, as I was mentioned, have come against AP top 25 teams. All 5 of those teams are net top 20 teams, that being UCLA, Michigan State, Iowa, Ohio State, and USC. USC game was a little weird, too. It was a midweek game during that kind of Christmas break for them. They played that game. Had a lead and then just kind of used USC out of the half, just kind of ran away with it and kind of used that 12-0, 10-0 run they had and were able to just kind of hold on to the lead. So Nebraska, the losses, number 2 UCLA, number 8 Michigan State, number 12 Iowa, number 18 Ohio. I think that's a typo. 18. That is not right. On their website here, I have pulled up. It says 18 Ohio State, and then USC. The 5th setback was a 1-possession loss to Wisconsin on January 21st. And Michigan has played Wisconsin. Michigan beat them 86-60 back on January 11th. So just got to find a way to chip away at some of these top teams. They've had opportunities, Michigan State being one, USC had them on the brink and comes down to a final possession. But they haven't been able to put it all together and finish strong. I know they collected some wins, Illinois and Northwestern, over the past 2 weeks. Been able to kind of get back in the win column and feel good and win those games pretty commandingly. Like Illinois kind of weathered the storm, made it look a little closer in the end. Nebraska really took advantage against the Wildcats, were able to just keep the win streak going at that time, that mini 2-game win streak, but then ran into Columbus, and Ohio State was Ohio State, and we were able to put up 90 points on you. So, I mean, a lot more than Britt Prince. I think Amaya Hargrove, sophomore, has been kind of emerging throughout the sense. She's a contender for 6th player of the year. She's ranked 2nd on the team in scoring with 12.8 points per game, leading the team in rebounding with 5.9. If you have her and Britt Prince putting something together, being a nice little 1-2 punch, they can beat anybody on any given day. They just need them both to really show up and really show out, but they need another third person to kind of take that role. No, Logan Nisley's kind of been that role in there, but after that, it just kind of gets a little, it gets a little funky. But they've been able to play with those teams, as we've seen. Michigan State, Iowa game wasn't a blowout. USC wasn't a blowout. But all those games ball rolled the wrong way. And Nebraska, one of these times, the Nebraska women's basketball team is going to get a game where the ball's going to roll the right way. Michigan, really good. 19-3 on the year. They continue to win games. Undefeated at home in Ann Arbor, 11-0. Maybe Nebraska's that one. It just takes one. And they've been able to play close with some of these teams, but it just hasn't been their way. But Michigan's really good. They're hunting for Michigan's 20th win of the season. Carrying a 4-game win streak after I mentioned that overtime game against Michigan. That was a really good game. I remember turning it on. I saw it was close in the second half, and I was like, man, this is a pretty solid game on a Sunday. But they've been able to find ways to win. That game they had a pretty big lead against Michigan State down the stretch, and then Michigan State kind of chipped away after the 8 minutes in the fourth quarter, around the 8-minute mark, and then the 4-minute mark, and they were able to tie it up. Michigan then missed some. Michigan struggled from the free throw line that game. They shot about 50% from the free throw line, which was able to kind of open the back door for Michigan State to somehow maybe trickle away and win it in the end. And they nearly did it with almost a half-court shot, a little over half-court shot to maybe win the game. But ball doesn't roll their way, and the Wolverines are able to knock off their rivals and win that game in East Lansing. The Wolverines' offense is legit, too. They're averaging about 87.5 points on the season while shooting about 50%, almost 50% from the field, including 34% from the three-point line. So Michigan, like I mentioned, they have struggled at the free throw line, around 66%, but everywhere else they can hit from anywhere. Three-point line, field goal percentage is high. They're scoring about 90 points, but they just cannot make their free throws. So if the game is tight down the stretch and Michigan has to be forced to shooting free throws, there's going to be that back door. Michigan State kind of exposed that in that game on Sunday. But they are a solid team. Defensively, they hold opponents to just around 61 points per game and shooting about 39%, including 30% from beyond the arc. So they are a really good team. And Nebraska is going to have to play pretty solid to beat them. Nebraska just has to prove it against some of these teams. You know, Ohio State and UCLA have been the cream of the crop that Nebraska has played in this conference. I think these two teams kind of are a little higher than your Michigan States, your Iowas, and your USCs, just based off of the basketball I've watched in women's college basketball this year. But Michigan's pretty solid, and Nebraska's going to have to make some shots. I think you have two really good ones, Logan Isley, Amaya Hargrove, Britt Prince. You have those three players. If they can put together some shots, make some shots early, gather some momentum in Ann Arbor, because like we saw at the men's game, it's tough to win up there, and nobody's been able to beat the Wolverines women's basketball program, but they're 11-0 so far this year. Just have to play a perfect game and have to gather some momentum, win each quarter. It's very cliche, win each quarter, win each 5 minutes or whatever it is, because the quarter they play quarters women's basketball, 10 minutes, 4 10-minute quarters in women's basketball in college, and men play 2 halves, 2 20-minute halves. A little different. I actually like, before we go to break, I think at some point men's basketball might change that 10-minute 4 quarters situation. I really do. I think I think it's a better pace. The 20-minute halves, I know it's been around for years and years and years and decades and decades and decades, but I like the 10-minute quarters, and the pace of it just feels a little better. I also like the timeout where you can advance the ball to half court as well. 8147, yeah. University of Michigan's have the best play on the floor. Yeah, they are good, and they play complementary basketball, and there's a reason they are number 8 in the nation. So we're going to go break here. We'll wrap up the show. A couple of some news and notes. We'll talk a little bit about some Olympic headlines and get you set into your Saturday here. I'm Nick Whyman, Late Night Lincoln here on 97.7 Ticket. We'll be back right after this break.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G16518. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Hey, we got one more segment here on this Tuesday night. Late night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman. We just talked about a lot of things. Talked about college football playoff for next year. We talked a lot about Nebraska men's and women's basketball. The women tomorrow up in Ann Arbor. 6 o'clock tip-off against Michigan, number 8 Michigan, the Wolverines. And Harrison joined me for a bit there. We talked about the Pro Bowl. My final thoughts, Pro Bowl. I don't know how you fix it. It's a interesting situation, but is what it is. I didn't watch any of it. I saw the score is like 66-52 NFC. It's the win. George Pickens Jr., offensive player of the game, and Antoine Winfield Jr., defensive player of the Pro Bowl. So that is your Pro Bowl fix. We have a couple more minutes left. The Olympics, I brought up a schedule of what the events are like. Tomorrow, you can get your first events 1 o'clock Eastern time. I read this out earlier the other day with the time zone was wrong. It's actually noon tomorrow. You can watch curling, 4 mixed double preliminary round matches: Sweden, South Korea, Great Britain, Norway, Canada, Czechia, Estonia, Switzerland tomorrow. Mixed doubles curling is in action tomorrow. The biggest story coming out of the United States that is one of the biggest storylines is Lindsey Vonn coming out of retirement to do a skiing downhill event in alpine ski. However, she was skiing in the Alpine Ski World Cup in Switzerland on Friday and lost control coming out of a jump, which resulted in her crashing. The news is she's not pulling out of the Olympics. Lindsey Vonn is going to continue to compete in the Olympics despite having a ruptured ACL. Uncharted territory. She will try to compete in Milan, refusing to let this chance slip through her fingers, she said. Training sessions for women's downhill are set for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before Sunday's run for gold. And she promises she will be there at the starting gate for that event. So kind of crazy that she is going to be competing despite a ruptured ACL. That'll be a story to watch in the Winter Olympics as she'll be competing Sunday right before the Super Bowl. So that'll be something to watch once Lindsey Vonn, again, ruptured ACL. I can't imagine anybody with a leg injury not only getting up out of that, but competing with it. So that is all I have for today. Tomorrow, we have a stacked slate. As always, here on 94.7 Ticket. Early break starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. We'll have a Ticket weeknights. We have a lot of really good shows. As always, I'll be back with you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Rocking with you till midnight, and we'll do it again tomorrow before we get into a full day of Olympic slate. We'll recap Nebraska women's basketball after that ends. Tip off 6 o'clock tomorrow night. As always, rock with us here on 94.7 Ticket. Nick Whyman with you. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock, early break here on 93.7 The Ticket.